Hey guys, this is gimmick. Welcome back to Touhou, the Genius of Savros. Last time we took on Komachi, I guess, and, well, she kinda didn't get a chance to hit us this time because she didn't just spam money from yesterday and all that stupid stuff like she did in my previous attempt. So, yeah, it's the first time I had actually not cleared a boss on my first go in this thing, and it's mostly just because, you know, I didn't set myself up right, but that is all besides the point, because this time we're going into the Garden of the Sun, and Yomu is of course our command hero. So I changed my control around just because I was getting kind of annoyed myself with the, you know, loudness of the D-pad and stuff. So I'm using an old Logic 3 thing, which is basically the same as the SNES pad, but with a cross pad instead of the traditional D-pad. Totally besides the point, but you shouldn't hear the controller nearly as much now, so, like, it's still there, but it's not as loud. So, we are going with a slightly more defensive formation this time. We have the Moira wall is what I'm gonna go with here, just for something different. I would normally just use Kappa Camouflage again, but I kind of want to try something a little bit, you know, different, like I said, basically. So, we're going to go with that, and we're also going to go with Yomu Sakuya as our physical front. We're going to have a bit more physical than usual that way. And Satori is going to be our other front person with the muscle belt so that she has a bit more physical defense. And the reason she's going to be up front, even though she'd be better at the back, is because then she might get targeted a bit more with skills that we can learn. It's pretty much the only reason for it. Aya's going to be the commander for the stage, but I'm most likely going to switch that to Alice if we do the grindy stuff, so that I can get both of them leveled up. And yeah, Determined Yomu is very determined. So, let us go all the way over to the other side of the map for the Garden of the Sun. Now this is one of the funniest songs in the game in my opinion, because it is just so, I guess, basic in comparison, but it's also incredibly catchy and also kind of irritating as you go along in the end, but Sunlight's excited to see all the sunflowers, obviously. Sea of Yellow is new to me, and of course Aya is writing it all down, but yeah, you wouldn't really come here too often because you just don't really, yeah. I want caring. That's Rainbow in a nutshell in this game. Yep, if Yuuka is truly the one who's causing this, then she's not exactly the easiest of people to deal with, huh? Yes, I would say that is pretty correct. Indeed, Satori, indeed. Such a pain indeed, but hey, that's why you're instant resolvers, right? So, what's up, Yomu? I would think so. Unsolved mysteries are always there. And, yeah, we have to kinda go in and ask. That's pretty much it. So, that's what we're gonna do. Now, this place, no matter how many times I go through this place, I always manage to get lost one way or another, so that's pretty exciting, I guess. This area has a bit more of a gimmick compared to the previous one, previous two really, and that is that we have coloured plant stuff. For some reason we have coloured geysers that actually physically change our colour, so red and violet, I guess it is purple rather than blue. I always just refer to it as blue though because it makes more sense and it makes my character look blue. So yeah, we have a red one and a blue one, and if you touch the corresponding flower whilst you are that colour, you will make that flower disappear. Also a sunflower seed straight from the word GoS, so that's really nice. I actually did have Yomu's second tier katana, so I don't actually need to craft that straight away, but yes, the sunflower seed, as we've discussed before, is the material for character synthesis, so that's it. So basically we need to explore the area to navigate towards the end using this color gimmick. And, well, let's just go straight into battle here. So, I'm not actually going to use the stance here. We are, of course, using the Zero stance, and as you can see, we can't use the skills associated with the Zero unless we use that stance. There's no point me putting Manusa on as well, because it just wouldn't really help. I'd have to switch between stances by using the attack taking a turn. Not exactly something which I would want to do. So, yeah, with only 2 enemies though, there is literally no point in me using a stance because they will go down before too long. Sunflowers, as you would expect from plant-based things, are weak to fire and slash, so yeah, I have some more fire-based attacks on Satori than I did before for that general purpose. I don't think they can cause any status, so we'll just use Winter Swords and Hellfire, this one here. So this should take out the enemies in one go here. Especially if Yomu gets a crit like that. Jeez, Sakuya just wrecking him too. I don't have a Slayer with Sakuya yet, so because I'm not using her tier 3 sword. It's a considerable option now that we already have a Sunflower Seed, so you know, that's definitely an option, but we're not going to go for it just yet. Anyway, the maids here are all a little bit more powerful than before. You won't be able to vanilla physical these guys, at least not to start with, so we're going to go for the paralysis. I feel like that's going to be the better bet, and Magic Napalm should hit everything here. And we get paralysis on everything, so they can't move. Just one more of the reasons why Satori is good, but you can see they took about 1,000 damage there and they're still just kicking, so these guys are pretty tough. We can just vanilla physical from here though, because yeah, Yomu's attacks are pretty strong, and the problem with Yomu is that she normally takes a turn to set up, and you don't normally want to give that sort of turn. You know, you want to be killing the enemies in 2 rounds basically. I mean, you can't always do that, but 2 rounds is what I usually want to kill all the enemies in, and Yomu kinda doesn't fit that too well. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, just to show what is up here, apart from Beast Mail, which is actually quite nice, Sakuya could probably use that. Better defense and good against slash and... no, it's not even slash, it's stab and strike moves. Actually, you know what, Yomu is the one I'm going to give that to, because Yomu is the one in the very center of the formation at the moment. She also naturally has higher physical defense than Sakuya, so... and she can use a shield, which is why she has the platinum shield from Alice here. So yeah, the main thing was these. We need to get rid of these because we can't actually do too much up here with those cleansing geysers active. We need to get through that blue bit there, and we can't do that unless we remove the geysers. We can't get a pretty mirror, however, so there is that. And then there's a red thing here which we can't get past, and we can go this way, but it's blocked by a red thing here. So, and also you can see there's a couple of chests blocked behind that too, so we'll need to remember to get that later. But the main goal of this dungeon is going to be to switch these off. So that's what we're going to do. So as you also saw, the plant effects, you know, the sort of pheromone things here, they do persist through areas. So not for an infinite number of areas, mind you, but they do persist through some areas. So we will be able to use them to go about 4 screens before they disappear, 3 or 4 screens. So then we have hanging gourds. These guys are not too dangerous, I don't think. I think they have maybe acid or something, and that's about it. They are capable of dropping a reasonable item for us though, so we will want to try and get that. I'm just going to buff resistance though, because I don't remember if they do any nasty attacks that way. They also do have a shield, one of the few enemies here that does. But yeah, they're weak to fire, they're also weak to slash, and they go down pretty easily, and they have given us that item straight away. Very, very nice. I do like that fact, you know, perfectly much. And as Sanai gets a level, the item you get is the Rabbit's Paw. So this, we are going to equip this to Aya because she kind of needs it here. The Rabbit's Paw gives your entire party 1% extra experience. That's really not a whole lot, but it's your entire party that gets it, and it works if it's in the commander slot. So yeah, everybody can get that tiny bit more experience whenever we play now, no matter who's the commander. Unlike the Melon Sword only working on, you know, characters that can equip a sword. And obviously Aya has that so that she can get leveled up a bit further. So, with that said, we can proceed through here because we have the red flower. I actually forgot that was what we needed, but yeah. Get the sewing needle for Alice. Obviously we had the rusty blade for Yomu earlier, which is fine. And there's another chest there. I don't remember if there's anything else in here of importance other than just treasure. Well, there is that. We'll take a look at the items when I've opened all the boxes in here. I think there is no exit otherwise in this room, which is fine. That's a good thing to know, because yeah, it's just a treasure room then. So then we get the magic shard for Patchouli, and yeah, that's basically it. So let's have a look at that trident there. So 20% of the time it will do a pierce attack like Stream Laser, and it has a Slayer against Arcwinds. It's not terrible, but again, it's kind of got that problem of, hey, it's a lance, and I don't like lances, as I've established many times before. But if you do like them, then that's definitely something you're going to want. So, in order to get through here, we need the blue flower, and I think that is, I mean, it doesn't make sense if there was any other pathway through there, so I'm pretty sure that is also a dead end route, which is fine. So we'll just go ahead and get the blue flower, and we shall proceed, preferably without running into too many more encounters, because we'll have plenty of nasty encounters to come, but don't really want to be fighting them just yet. So in here we have another box containing some bamboo, good stuff. I could do with some iron though, so hopefully there's one of those in the stage somewhere too. And we have a sunflower dress, so let's go ahead and put that on Satori because she's not using her own armor yet. And it is a good variety status blocker, also 44 defense, which is quite nice. So yeah, same resistance as the other armor that she had, which is here, but a little bit more in the defenses and good against those status, so that is good. Right, anything else we can find in here? There is a little hidden box here for Marissa's magic mushroom, so don't forget that. And that's pretty much all that there could be in this room, so with that done, let's just go ahead and make our way out of here and start exploring the left hand side of this place, since the left hand side is where you're actually supposed to go for progress. So we'll do that. I don't remember if I need any flowers like geyser colors over there, so I guess I'll just take the blue one just to see, although I really should have opened this up first, just because it might get in the way otherwise. Then we have, I guess, Venom. Venom's not too bad. It's basic lightning weak transcendent enemy, so are they transcendent? Actually, they might just be spirits or yokai or whatever, I don't remember. This is a good enough chance to show Stardust Reverie, so let's just do that, because I'm going to be removing this very soon, so yeah, they're very weak to lightning. As you would expect with the spirit enemies, they do take a lot of damage from their own element. Plus, I don't even really need to remove that flower. This place is kind of oddly designed in the fact of you don't really need... I guess it's just to demonstrate the stuff. You don't really need the flowers in the first area, but yeah. Also, the enemies in here are actually fairly easy to avoid compared to most of the other ones we've been seeing recently. These enemies are a lot slower and smaller than most of the ones we've been fighting, so yeah, avoiding encounters is not as bad here as it has been in other places. So the blank scroll there is for when we get Byakuran, which is gonna be a reasonable time yet, but as soon as I say, of course, that the enemies are easier to avoid, a fight like that comes up where it's pretty much unavoidable, but hey, that's just how it goes, right? I think I want to go for the Mind Blast again here. Let's just go for the Paralysis and go with that. I could hit everything with Earthlight Ray, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just hit this guy with Stardust and take him out, as we get paralysis on everything except the guy at the back, so that's kind of cool. Also, I forgot, I've actually put Marissa's growth tree stuff up now. She's maxed out on magic, so her magic tree can actually cast twice per turn now. And this is one of the problems with Yomu you see here, is that by the time she's ready to go, we've already killed 3 of the enemies and incapacitated the other one. So Yomu's stances are often too slow for standard combat. So you might actually want to go ahead and boost and use a non-katana for a while and basically use her use skills from a weapon tree. I don't know, like, it depends on what you've got. Anyhow, Marissa gets her next laser level up at level 22, so that's good. And Aya, of course, is catching up a bit, and the spirit guy's venoms can drop the Earth Shard, so that's nice too. So the illusion laser is just a basic upgrade to the stream laser here. It will have a cooldown turn, unfortunately, because I can only reduce that by 1, but medium minus is pretty strong. Lasers are very fast to cast, and yeah, it ignores magic barrier, which is quite nice. So she can basically chew through stuff with that, which is good. Don't forget the little box down here. It has a Minotaur axe, so if you're using axes at all, this is actually quite nice. Reasonably accurate, I think, compared to the other axes that we have had recently. It's about, yeah, it's just a little bit less accurate, I guess, but pretty powerful and ignores shields entirely, so that's quite nice. But as I'm not using axes, it won't really be coming in handy for me. But that's mostly just because I'm using character-specific stuff quite a bit at the moment, or if I'm not using them, I'm using other stuff, like the daggers and whatnot. Anyway, DVD-ROM as well, that is another thing that we can equip. Let's put that on, you know, we don't really need to put it on anyone, so I'll just show what it's like. This would be something I usually end up putting on Notori for some reason, but it's the next magic blocking shield. Quite good at doing that too, so it's pretty nice for that stuff. So with that bit done, we can just go up this way, and, well, more sunflowers, because that's what this stage is. It's a silly sunflower thing. Really, this stage is not as complicated as I make it out to be. It's just I always manage to get myself lost going through here. So yeah, I actually played ahead to the halfway point of this stage, so I know where I'm going for the first half. It's the next half that I'm worried about. This fight's not really anything too special, just I guess note that the Axe Fairy does have a shield and it will use it, so there is that, but a column based attack will hit every enemy here, which is quite nice. Sure, let's go for the paralysis again, and we can magic boost and napalm everybody as well. Falcon Slash kinda hurts though, so you do have to be careful of that. The Axe Fairies are usually the ones I would consider the most dangerous though, simply because they do the most damage. But yeah, not a particularly crazy fight there, so now that we have double casting with Marissa. So the catch with double casting is, as I think I've said before, if you use an MP skill to double cast, it will take 2 lots of the MP, so It's very expensive to double cast, but obviously it's a worthwhile thing. So, we have another new enemy here, the Earth. Yes, we are literally fighting the entire Earth apparently. It casts 2 things per turn. I think it usually casts a party target move or something. Poison's probably not going to be very good here, so we're just going to go for the paralysis. I don't remember if resistance is needed here, but I'm just going to do it anyway because I can. And yeah, control land is going to hurt a little bit, but we'll just have to see. Oh, we get paralysis on the lackeys though, which is quite nice. And Tremor Wave really hurts. Ow. Okay, so yeah, Tremor Wave I believe is a nerf-based attack. I mean, you would think it would be, but yeah, it does a lot of damage when Earthland is this high. And of course they have a lot of regen in this land too, so that kind of stings. But it shouldn't take too much more to knock this thing out, especially if we focus on the lightning stuff here. Although the lightning land is much weaker than it should be right now. But yes, Yomu can also double cast with her katana, so yeah. Wow, that really didn't do anything, but at least we got Earthquake, right? We got the all target move, which is good. So let's not Azura stance again, let's just use that. And well, not really much that these two can do here. I guess we just go ahead, party heal just to make sure, and you know what, Earthlight Ray is probably going to do more damage here, so we'll just use that. Yomu is incredibly fast with her casts. That is one thing to that she has in her favour. She is very, very quick when you do use her stance skills. The actual stance itself always goes last, but her attacking with stance moves is very quick. So yeah, once she gets going in a big way. But anyway, there are 2 ways that we can go here, I believe. So, oh, there actually aren't. There's just a thing there. Ooh, a couple of new enemies here as well. The cockatrice is pretty dangerous, and you do want to have res buff going against that. So we shall definitely be using that now. Yeah, because they can cast a party-wide petrification move, which is really not fun to go against, so yeah. Thankfully those venoms are pretty weak to paralysis, which is nice, because now we can just go with the AoE here. Satori can actually learn... Oh wow, they're too far apart to use that, that's lame. Satori can actually learn the AoE petrification skill that Cockatrice uses, so we may get to use that at some point. But yeah, let's just attack basic here. I don't have enough points to keep Marissa with her siphoning skill, but she doesn't really need it too much. Like, she has a fair amount of MP anyway, and you know, even though she can double cast and it takes a lot of MP to do so, the skills themselves are quite nice to just blitz things with. So alright, looks like we're probably, yeah, we're gonna have to fight here. We have another new enemy as well. I don't remember too much about this guy, except I know it can use Bottomless Swamp, I think it's called, which is a removal skill, so definitely, again, something you want to res buff in. If there's one criticism I would have for this game, it's that Sanae is kind of way too good in the sense that Sanae, with her resistance buff, is just mandatory for so many things that I feel as if the game is not balanced particularly well that way. Somebody else should have been able to do that stuff as well, I think. That would have been better. Anyway, let's use the laser as well, because why not? It's a bit fancier than it was before. And yeah, the the dude there can counter-attack with stuff that way. Counter a Bottomless Swamp. It also has Slayer against Sakuya somehow, so that's kind of annoying. But yeah, the Petro Breath there is something that Satori can learn, but I think only after level 30, so she's not quite at the point where she can learn that yet. Bit of a shame, but we'll get there. And not really much else to do. I guess I could heal Sakuya just in case, and I think this guy's water weak, so we'll go with that. No, okay, it's not water weak, but it dies in a couple of hits anyway, so whatever. Even the basic attacks of the cockatrice can petrify, so do make sure you defend against that adequately. And yeah, that's pretty much this one over. So yeah, as you can see, Yomu casts even quicker than Satori's Last Word, and Last Words are usually the quickest thing to cast, so do bear that in mind. Anyway, we had a new skill for Aya there, so let's go ahead and show that. It is an evasion increaser for the turn. Yay. I don't know, I'm not a fan of that skill because it does take a bomb as well. But if you could make it work, then, you know, all power to you. It's just not really something I would use. So up here, we don't have anything there to go, but we do have a way up to go this way. So let's take a look here. Have ourselves another box with some more iron. Good. That's 2 iron that we've gotten out of the treasure chest, this one. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I don't think there was anything up here, so I may have just got myself stuck with encounters. Nope, we did get past. Looks like there's probably a way up there though, but we'll see. So anything else? There is a blue flower down here. So I think we're just going to go this way. There is actually another exit over to the top left, but this I think is the ideal sort of stopping point for this time. Do not forget there is a box up there. We just need to sneak past this guy to get it. Another magic medal, very nice. And when we trigger this switch, we will basically end the part, because I'll need to go back and get heals anyway. So, the basilisk over here is very nasty with its poison stuff. It will cast Poison Breath, which will venomize your entire party, and it's actually strong enough in its induction that it can go through resistance buffs too, so Sunrise res buff is not enough to make it, you know, super easy to get around all of this. Which is why I'm just kind of going all in with the attack stuff here. But it's not really going to be enough to get everything, and Yomu only just survives that. Also, if Yomu gets hit with a physical attack when performing a stance move, she can counter-attack at that time. So keep that in mind. It's quite nice to, you know, be able to do something like that. I don't think Sakuya's Last Word is going to get a chance to come into play here, but whatever. Just see, yep, a couple of guys going down, and yeah, that's it. So, good stuff. Also noticed there maybe that due to face, the Sunrise heal was not actually enough to cure Yomu entirely there, so I may need to switch to the upgraded heal at this point. Anyway, Satori gets a level up, which is nice, and I need to get away from this guy. This guy is being a butt. So, we hit that switch, and the geysers in the center disappear. Which is where the second half comes in and I get lost and all of that fun stuff. But before we do that, just a real quick thing on the Raising Heart, which is good for lowering your MP costs. This is probably the stuff that Patchouli is going to be using for the most part for quite a time to come. I probably should equip it to Marissa for just now, because it does raise her magic attack fairly significantly. The only reason I'm hesitating on it is because the Mystic Enhance is really good for Marissa. And even though we've had this for 4 stages now, that plus 20% Mystic damage is probably more important than boosting her other stuff. If you were using her astronomy skills more, then definitely used a raising heart with her, but for me at the moment, I don't know, I'm not really convinced. So anyway, once we've accomplished that, you can see this is that sort of general hub area where we were before. So if we go down, this is where the geysers were, and that's pretty much the midway point for the stage, and it's at this point where the entire stage kind of opens up and I get lost. So fun times will be had with that. So this has been GamerCal playing Touhou, the Genius of Sapphirus, and next time we go ahead and get lost properly in the Garden of the Sun. Now that we're done with the linear stuff, let's just hopefully not forget anything. And yeah.